Good afternoon. I almost said good morning. I was thinking that it's morning. It was a long night for us last night. So we are doing the special 13th episode and hangover edition of Magpies.
Sorry.
I was like, wait, why am I echoing? And it was like a lag.
Yeah.
No, it's because I have it open for the chat. It's easier for me to type here.
We all had a birthday Zoom for Miss Nadia.
Yes.
Because it's her birthday yesterday. She turned 21, and so we were kind of up late. So
awesome. Okay, so what was I saying? I lost all train of thought. Anyways,
you lost your choo-choo.
Happy hangover.
Happy hangover. Happy 13th episode. Our 13th episode on the weekend of a Friday the 13th.
She lost her choo-choo. Me and Steven were trying to have conversations last night after our Zoom, and we kept losing our train of thought. So we're losing our choo-choo.
So
2 a.m. Marco Polos, not recommended.
So we are going to introduce everybody. Hi, I'm Betsy. I'm the mom of the group. I buy everything under the sun, and I don't get hangovers. Actually, you can ask these guys. I was perfectly fine. I had to make myself look exhausted, but here we are. Next up, we have Rupy.
Hey everybody, I'm Rupy. Same thing. I don't typically get hangovers, but I didn't have much to drink last night anyways, but I made myself look it. My hair was teased, but you can't even see. There you go. Hangover hair. Just pretend you can see it. Yeah, I don't buy everything under the sun, and I'm probably not going to be buying anything under the sun for a while, so I'm here to anti-haul everything.
We love a good negative queen, especially on a morning like today.
Yes.
Next up is my darling baby girl, who's now fully legal, 21 years old, Miss Nadia.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nadia. Obviously, I'm very tired, and I want to apologize to everyone that I had messaged last night. And in my comments,
she got slooshed.
I got up this morning and I was trying to respond to everyone, and I noticed I had responded to some people and it didn't make any sense. And so yeah, that's me. Let's go to Steven.
Nadia's gonna just be quiet in her corner all day, and when we're gonna turn to her like, "Hey Nadia, what do you think of that?" She's like, "It's all good though."
I will definitely say thank you to Jeremy. He was an amazing bartender last night. We tried some fancy drinks.
Yeah, you guys had some fun stuff over there.
Yeah, I was over here with my Grey Goose and LaCroix, and y'all over there with fancy tequila sunrises. Yeah. So
I know I had a basic hard seltzer, and I was like, I feel like I'm missing out.
Jeremy recently. I was going to say Jeremy recently got into doing bar stuff. So we've gone to Specs so many times. So he's wants to figure out recipes, and yeah, sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're not. A lot of times they're not, but it is what it is.
I'm coming over someday.
Oh yes.
So I'm not hungover. I wasn't hungover. I had a small headache this morning, but I didn't drink much either. I was just exhausted.
Yeah, me too.
I actually used the Natasha Denona Love Palette today because the Love Palette is the palette that makes me think the most of Nadia out of my collection, because it's cute and pink and purpley and all this kind of stuff. It's very Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
But I used it to make myself look like I have the worst bags ever. And then I covered myself in Benefit Cookie. So that's where the highlight shine is coming from. I'm basically covered in Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter and then Benefit Cookie, because I'm I want to look like I'm oily and greasy from the night before.
She just put sparkles everywhere.
I should have. And then I doused myself in Max Fix Plus, and let me tell you, don't do that because you'll choke on it. But if anyone doesn't know who I am,
by the way,
Steven, by the way, and I am about a year into this makeup experience, and I'm at the point now where I've accumulated so much stuff that I am now, I think, like on a permanent no buy when it comes to like colored cosmetics. Like I will be repurchasing foundation when I run out and concealer when I run out. But as far as like eyeshadow, like I'm very set on the fact that I probably have all the eyeshadow that I will ever own right now today. So I will also be anti-hauling most of these things, but I'm just going to do my best to be as thoughtful and mindful as possible and not like judge makeup or judge people, just, you know, for my own opinion.
Oh, thank you so much, Locke. That is so sweet.
Thank you, Locke. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry. I want you to know I am happy.
She knows. She knows. She said earlier that Nadia's toasted, so she knows.
So, that's all of us introduced. So let's start trashing or stashing some makeup.
Well, let's say hi to people in the chat. And just so you know, she's probably still drunk. It's not that she's hungover yet. We didn't stop until after 3. So, yay. Okay, so let's say hi. I got to go all the way back up.
Thank you. Oh,
that's so nice, Kara.
That made me laugh because I saw that you had posted that or you messaged me about that, saying you thought I was 15. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with people thinking I'm 15. That's fine.
For the longest time, she wasn't. And I was like, appreciate your youth, because when you're my age and you don't get ID'd anymore, it's like, really?
Yeah. When I have my beard, I don't get ID'd. And so like, but when I shave down to nothing, if I go barefaced, I look like a child, which is why I generally don't go barefaced.
It happens. So let's see. Hey, hey, Aileen. Hey, Haley. Well, Rupy, duh, you're here.
No, I'm not.
Hey, Anara and Locke and Ryan and Amanda and Tori and Millie and Kara and Judy. Did I miss anybody? I'm thinking I think I did pretty good.
Yeah. And anybody else who's here but not in the chat.
Hey, everybody.
Yes.
Okay.
We see you hiding out there.
So I think we will start with trend mood today. Thank you, Judy. Nadia appreciates it.
Thank you.
Covered your face when I try to show them. So if I don't show chats, that's why. That's why I get distracted trying to
I wish they would show up just on the share screen part rather than over.
Or like everything would lift up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make more sense, but it doesn't. So I guess we will start with trend mood. Why aren't you opening? There you go. So Ulta's at Target.
Cool.
This is going to be very bad for me.
I don't have
bad.
either, so.
Because I love Target. I mean, like our Target has Starbucks. It has Target. And then, now it's going to have Ulta.
Can I say something? The super chats match the Ulta Target post.
They do. It's funny.
I feel totally vibing with this whole color story going on right now.
I'm curious, like, why this was done. Because Ulta's not doing poorly. Target's not doing poorly. I don't understand, like, why they came together in this way. Because...
Oh, I do. It's very simple. It's mathematics that not every town has a makeup store. Like where I live in Nederland, like the town next to us, Port Arthur, we have a Target. We have a JCPenney's that has a Sephora, but we have to go all the way to Beaumont. And from Port Arthur, it's like 30 minutes away. And that's where we have a regular Ulta. So if you have it in a place where everybody goes all the time, they're going to make more money. And Target doesn't have to keep the inventory of all the makeup. So it helps them out too.
Okay.
It's kind of like a give and a take. If you go into Target for one thing, we all come out with 20, Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Kohl's is now getting Sephora. I think Karen Harris or...
Yeah, she was there.
Was she posted yesterday?
Yeah. Yeah, Canada got Target for like 2 minutes and it was gone. It didn't do really well here.
And Ulta didn't even get started.
Ulta didn't even get started. Ulta was supposed to come here and then, the Panini happened and then, no Ulta.
So,
And
yeah.
they even took shipping away from us. They used to ship to Canada, but now you can't even do that.
I have an Ulta like 5 minutes away because you can't. I won't be able to show you, but out my windows is the mall, so I can literally like walk 15
Walk to
minutes to the
Ulta.
mall, or I can like drive 5 minutes to like Express and all the stores like Ulta and everything like that, Macy's.
Yeah, there's nothing close to us. Like we have to drive in my town of Nederland. There's
A vinyl
nothing.
shop.
Like, well, I mean, it's what you see typical small town USA. Like we have a McDonald's, we have fast food, but that's about it. Like we don't have any chain stores.
We have Whataburger.
That's fast food, honey.
That's Whataburger.
But it's also
You
a
don't
chain.
know what a burger.
Oh, what a burger. Okay.
yes,
Like
but it's not.
I heard Whataburger and I was like, no.
Well, that's
no.
how we all say it because with our Texas twang, it goes from Whataburger. You know, when you say it fast, it goes from what a burger to Whataburger.
Yeah, so
After
I
our
just heard
Zoom
water.
last night, I definitely was like, I thought I had like a Southern Texas twang. I was like,
Got to get your country on.
yeah.
But yeah, so but they make good burgers. They're better than Five Guys and In and Out. So
Yeah.
Texas, that's one thing we do know. We do know our meat.
Whataburger makes terrible chicken fingers, though. Don't bother with their chicken fingers. Just FYI.
Good to
Why
know.
would you go to a burger place and order chicken fingers?
Well, the other day, Ryan and I
Why?
wanted chicken fingers really bad. And we're like, where are we going to get our chicken fingers from? And it was like, well, we just Googled who has chicken fingers. And I think they were like top on the list. And we just went there. I think next time we'll go to like Popeyes or KFC.
Yeah, you'll have better luck. Get a burger the next time. They have good burgers. Okay. Next up is, what are we talking about now? Oh, Jouet. No, this is Bobby Brown.
Oh,
There was an assumption made. Does it not? It looks like
Looks like-
Jouet.
Yeah. I think
It
this
does.
is the Ula Johnson
It
collab,
is, yeah.
right? Okay.
yeah.
I think we talked about this before. I'm not interested in it, but
No.
whatever.
Meh.
Yeah,
Boring.
this is boring as well. I mean, it's brow products.
Bro, yeah. I
And
don't need
maybe
anymore.
At
So what
some
do we
point,
have here? Is it
Hmm.
are all the brow powders? You have to buy all 4 in the palette instead of buying the one that works for you.
Yeah.
well, it's not technically a brow palette. Everything else is brow products, but the 4-pan palette is, you can use it for brows. You can also use it to create smoky eyes. You can use it to contour. So it's but it's the same size as the other quads.
Guys, I will save you a lot of money. You probably have a brown eyeshadow in your collection. Use that as your brow powder.
Oh yeah,
You're
don't need
welcome.
This,
Yeah.
This you don't need.
I've
I
been
will
doing that
always
my whole
say-
life.
Yeah, I'll always be the one to say that you should never buy a palette that's like for your face
Nope.
or your brows or whatever when it has multiple colors that you wouldn't use. Like anybody who can use the lightest one in here won't be able to use the darkest one in here for your brows.
Mm-mm.
That's not true.
Tell
That
me
is
more.
not-
Tell
Have
me
you not seen how many colors I've had in my hair?
Oh, okay. For someone like Betsy or Nadia
Yeah.
who dye their hair like every month, yes.
For someone like me, nah.
But it really wasn't needed because they do have those brown shades of eyeshadow in like 50 Juvia's Place palettes. I mean, let's not get
Yeah.
it twisted.
Yeah.
So
But the other brow products are great because I don't think they had those in their lineup. So now they have them. So now people, like, I know a lot of people will want to get, like, they want to support Juvia's Place or a
Mhm.
specific
Oh, yeah.
brand. So now they can get, like, a full face of Juvia's Place, which is great for them.
Yeah.
And when I need a new eyebrow pen, I might try theirs because those little felt tip flicky pens like that are great for adding in extra strokes. But I have a bin full of brow products because I always buy them and I finish them. It just takes forever.
So I didn't start using brow products until April of last year. Before that, I would just use whatever darkest eyeshadow I had in my eyeshadow palette. And I would get hairspray on a spoolie, spray it on, and that would be my brow gel. No joke, that's what I did for like a whole decade of my life until last year where I was like, Maybe I'll try some brow product.
I will tell you, brow products is one of the few things like I always bought, but I always had like, I think I owned it. The last brow product before I really started getting into makeup, like having it here, was this Clinique brow powder duo. And it was like a darker one and a lighter one that were in one. And I think it was powder. So I had it for at least 10 years and used it every day. And I didn't ever hit pan on it.
I have something similar from Sigma I've been using like all the time, and I still haven't hit pan. It's close, but I haven't hit it.
Brow powder is one of those things that literally you will never run out of.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody's empties where they're like, here's a brow powder. I finished it off.
I watch, I follow a channel on Instagram, and she was doing her makeup live this morning, and she was using like Elf's potted brow stuff. And she's like, I've had this for a year, and it looks like I haven't even used it, but I use it every single day for the last year, and it doesn't look like I've used any of it at all. And it's like, there are certain products that will go on for a long time, and you don't need to keep buying new stuff. But it's good that they have it now if someone does need it. Which, by the way, speaking of brow stuff, Ryan really likes the pencil that you guys recommended. So,
oh yay,
awesome!
I can't remember which one it was though. I think it's the Microfine from
NYX.
Yeah,
That's a great one.
It's a really good one.
And wait till they do a sale. Juvia's Place always does a sale.
everything.
Next up
Yes.
is the Super Shock Shadow in new set of ColourPop times Disney Princess. And it's Heart of Gold is the collection. I did buy these, by the way,
They
even
look
though I said
really
I wasn't
pretty.
buying any more single shadows. And 90% of the Super Shocks that I own haven't even been swatched. But I bought these.
You should do a video swatching all of your Super Shock shadows.
I should, because I have like 50 of them.
Like you'll need like all your arms, and then Jeremy can come in. You can use his arms, and Nadia.
Yeah, I'll just cover it everywhere.
The whole family's arms.
Yeah.
Okay, so I bought a Super Shock shadow recently. I haven't even opened it because it was a bright like lemon lime green. It was really pretty. But I bought two maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. And within a year, they shrunk in the pan and they completely dried out and I couldn't use them anymore. So I was like, I am never buying one of these again. And now I bought one. So
now the swatches on these do look cute.
They do. You know, they kind of look like that Cleona bundle, the Fae Garden one or whatever it was called. It kind of reminds me of
It does.
Yeah.
I have
gives
the
me
Fae
that
Garden and
vibe.
Petrichor. It very much gives me that vibe.
Yeah, it gives me that vibe. Totally.
Well, and
really
one
pretty.
thing I will say about, at least for us, because we have so much humidity here, it takes a long time for a Super Shock, even if I don't touch them, to dry out. Even the Jelly Mutt shadows and stuff like that, like potted eyeliners, because like we have a dehumidifier in here and it always stays. I mean, you can't keep up with it. We have to change the water every day. But yeah, I think this is pretty. I'm excited. I bought it. It's princesses. How could I not? And they also included princesses that you don't like, that haven't been included yet. Because like Moana is new, you know, and she's in there. And
sorry, what's the formula like for a Super Shock? Is it a powder? Is it more like a gel? Like,
okay, so it's more like a creamy.
Out.
It does. So these are, because I got new ones in when I ordered the whole Wine Not. Or no, was it Fine Feathered? One of the 9.
Was it the peachy one that just came out?
No, I did order that. No, I didn't order that one. But I ordered like the teal one and the maroony one and the pinky one, whatever it was, or the red one.
Fine
so
feathered.
These are from the feathered one. So you can see, I'll make me bigger. How do I do that? So y'all can see.
Oh my gosh, Aileen.
I think hover over you.
Oh, there we go. So if you look, it's very sparkly in the thing, and it's like, it's that wet buoyancy feeling.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're really cool.
And then you see, like, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
And
tell me what I have in my collection that's like that, because I can't buy anything, but now I want that.
The Glam Shop shimmers might be similar in the putty.
Adept is pretty close.
Oh yeah, Adept too.
Adept,
right,
and you're right. Adept and Glam Shop, and then I feel like I have one other that has like a very soft shimmer formula. I'll look at those. Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah,
so
we should have stuff like that.
that was, I hadn't even opened that yet, but yeah, those were close to me. So those are good. Next up,
You should pull up Aileen's comment about what the brand said.
hold on. Which brand are we talking about? They were so pigmented, consumers would never get through them to repurchase. Is this over the Chanel blushes?
She didn't name the brand because she doesn't want to call them out, but I think she was saying they reformulated a product, and when she asked why they reformulated the product, this is the response that she got.
I think that is probably the Chanel blushes. I'll call them out because
Dang.
a lot of people have been, like, the luxury creators complain that the new Chanel blushes weren't as pigmented. And that's kind of crappy because those things are expensive and, you know, they're just trying to make people spend more money when they don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Makes me not want to purchase from Chanel. I could be wrong, but I don't think that I am.
I'm trying to think of like what other mainstream product has been reformulated recently. It's like I know MAC has started reformulating their eyeshadows, but they're supposed to be better, so I think it must be that bronzer. But
Probably. Okay, so next up, how do you say that? I can never say that one.
Basha?
Something like that.
I think it's Basha, yeah.
Okay, Basha. It has a new plant stem cell and ceramide barrier defense moisturizer. It's coming to the Trend Mood box. I might get the Trend Mood box to try that because that's always nice. The Trend Mood box, if you're interested in trying some products, like I was able to get the one that had the Tatcha powder. The box is $50. The Tatcha powder by itself was $48. And then I got like an eyeshadow palette and other stuff with it. It is a good way to try stuff.
Yeah. I think I got the Nabla box for like $40 and it would have added up to way more if I bought everything individually.
Do you have to be like subscribed to a service to get them?
No.
So you could just buy it when it comes out?
Mhm.
It's a one-time purchase. You don't have to subscribe so that you get every single one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can kind of pick and choose. And then they have certain ones where they have takeover boxes where it'll be like a one brand thing.
Yeah.
But they typically have good stuff. So like that, and then they have the Pro Retinol and Repair and Renew Waterless Advanced Treatment. I like the little knobby thing or the applicator on that. That looks like that would be nice under the eyes.
Yeah. Also, on the Trend Mood box, they show you everything you're getting in the box before it even comes live to purchase. So
Versus
you know well, in
Ipsy or
advance
something.
what you're going to get. Exactly.
And you can decide for yourself if you think it's going to be a good value.
Yeah, exactly.
This
Betsy,
looks
can
so
you
refreshing.
zoom in a little bit on the screen.
On the little, I don't.
Can you just zoom the whole browser just a little bit?
Go to the three dots in that top right corner next to your photo, and there's a zoom. There you go.
Thank you. It's just a little small for me. I need to go to the eye doctor and get my eyes checked.
Oh, I need to do that too.
You see what I'm saying, though? That looks nice on the.
It does.
It reminds
currently
me of
use retinol and sorry, go ahead, Rupy.
I was just gonna say the applicator looks almost like the Huda concealer applicator, which was meant to be like a cooling thing, almost like the Fenty one too. Even, anyways, that's all I was gonna say.
I am on a mission to get rid of I have a lot of small deluxe samples that I've gotten either through the Sephora birthday gift or through other stuff, and so I'm plowing through a lot of different small potted moisturizers. I just finished the Laneige Water Bank, I think is what it's called, but the Laneige moisturizers, those are really lovely.
Yeah.
And I just finished my night moisturizer from CeraVe, so I need a new nighttime moisturizer. I like a very thick cream when I go to bed at night to kind of because I'll do a retinol at night with hyaluronic acid, and then I want to mush it all in with a really thick cream. So I might look at this.
Oh yeah, it looks nice, and as I said, I am obsessive about moisturizing my skin. I think that to me, that's the biggest thing that has kept me. That and Botox is what's kept me looking young.
And sunscreen.
And sunscreen.
Yes.
Sunscreen, y'all know.
Girl, when you told me to start using sunscreen was earlier this year. It was I had never been a daily sunscreen user. I can tell you, using vitamin C every morning, a little bit of retinol, a very small amount, and sunscreen every day for the last month to 2 months, my face, I can tell a difference.
Mhm. It really does make a difference. The sun, it will damage you so quickly. It's not even funny. Next up, Slime Light. Okay, so this is Slime Light, which is a multi-mineral hologram highlighter by Freck. I hate the brand name of Freck. I don't know why it bothers me, but it does.
What the freck?
Well, and I think it's also because they started off as like a freckle pen, and that's where their name came from. But now they've extended to other things, so it really it doesn't make sense. It doesn't jive.
It's also not appealing to me how they call everything like slime and stuff. I don't want to be putting slime light on my face. Thank you.
Anytime I hear slime, I think of like the old Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Slime time.
Yeah.
I think those look really cool.
They do.
They also look
beautiful.
like a liquid eyeshadow versus like a highlighter. They just look very pigmented for a highlighter. But it could just be the way they're displaying them here.
Mm-hmm.
I personally cannot stand the name Slime Light. I don't care about Freck, but it just feels very like...
You mean you don't want to put the beam machine on your face?
No. I don't know what it is. It just feels very like young adult.
I feel like this is a very good, like, I'm going to Coachella. I'm going to put this all over my body, not just on my face kind of thing.
I feel like if I was a tween, I would maybe be into this. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you this. I can create that same look with all of my iridescent Cleona shadows.
Yeah.
And also I've got Kaleidos highlighters that will also do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't need this. And I've gotten more into creams, but I'm still not sold completely on using nothing but like cream products. So I always layer still. So I don't need any more cream products. They will literally go bad beforehand.
Oh my gosh.
Haley said that the blushes that were sold in this format, the same shape bottle, didn't get good reviews.
I'm just reading the description of the product. It says formulated with a complex of essential minerals, roux help balance and energize the skin. I'm like, is this filled with like magical crystals that I have to charge outside in the sun or the moon or something like that?
No, it's loads of unique HD pearls
that shift colors in different angles. $28 each.
Guys.
Space Face is violet purple. Beam Machine is bronze pink. And let's not forget about Big Bang, which is green and gold.
I just say marketers are really smart at describing things, but sometimes they just sound stupid.
You remember how last video we talked about, let's see how many weird things are going to start popping up in the
we should totally do an episode focused on just pointing that out. Take a shot every time.
We can do a special Saturday Night Live.
Tori, we're going to charge your slime under the full moon. Just make sure to bring your rose quartz with you.
Okay, next up, this is Truly Madly Deeply, which is a color collection by Lights Lacquer. So I'm guessing this is their fall collection. Lights Lacquer, I am obsessive about Holo Taco and ILNP. I love their polishes because I feel like they're so unique. Because like buying really cool like holographic, they don't make it around here. But I will say this is basic. I mean, this stuff you can buy anywhere, and it doesn't look that phenomenal on the fingers.
Just go to your drugstore and pick up SC polishes. I'm sure you can find the same thing.
It looks really dated. It looks so dated.
There is something about it that screams like Southern Mama. Like this is what I see everybody around me wearing all the time in the fall.
I was like,
I mean,
it makes me think of Cracker Barrel.
Yes.
These are colors I wear in the fall. I love like mauve, like rosy tones, but I'm not going to go buy them, especially from...
I love how Steven, we're talking about Southern, and Steven just like Cracker Barrel. I'm like, yeah, it's exactly.
I don't think that they're bad tones. It's just, to me, I don't know.
There's nothing exciting about it.
Well, and like, I guess because I don't work in and even when I did work in like more of a corporate style job, I was running around with like neon pink nails and stuff like that. I just don't find it fun. And I like fun unless I want black. And then I just want it black as my soul.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got, what is this? Oh, I'm excited for these. I'm going to buy all 4 of these. This is the new Huda Beauty, the Wild collection. So there's 9 different shades with mattes, metallic, sparkly, and foiled with multi-reflective 3D embossed print. There's the Wild Python, the Wild Chameleon, the Wild Jaguar, and the Wild Tiger. I think they would have done better just calling it like the Chameleon, Jaguar, and Tiger. But, you know, it is what it is.
I love these. I think they're beautiful. Yeah. I will say, you know, to everyone here, what I said to y'all in the group chat is like, I think these colors are beautiful. If they were in a different form factor, I'd be more interested in them. Whatever it is, I just don't like eyeshadows being this close to each other. It just bothers me. But those swatches look beautiful. Like, if this was like a Natasha Denona palette, I'd be like, add to cart. So I've never used Huda though, and I know everyone says that their formula is like reliable and nice.
Yeah, I mean, and I like Huda Beauty's formula. I think that they do great. Now, I do think that the shades are a little repetitive, especially if you own a lot, which I do. But I like
love this one.
I do too. I love.
I'm obsessed with the Jaguar one. I don't know what it is. It just like every time I look at it, my eyes go straight to that.
And I just love the color story of all of them. I think that they're super cute, and you know, I just think that they would be something fun to add. And for me, you know, with the size collection I have, I'm getting repeats. I always get repeats, but I don't like playing with single shadows. I don't want to have to go and dig out and sit there and try to recreate a palette. I think that other people who do it, it's cool. Kendra Morgan does an amazing job with it, just in case you're wondering, recreating palettes. And I watch those videos and I'm like, I want to do that, but I don't. Like, I don't even reach for my singles. So if a color story interests me, I'm better off just buying the palette. And for me, now this isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
This is for me.
See, I like the palettes, but it's because I always forget I have singles, so I just try not to buy them.
Yeah.
So Laurent said that she might pick these up when they go on sale, but that they never use the 9 pans that they do have. And I feel I am the same way. I have a bunch of 9 pans and I never pull them out. For whatever reason, I always want to grab for my Natasha Denona middies or palettes like of that size. That's what I'm drawn to.
I know a 9 pen that you love.
You do.
And you use it. Yeah. It's called It's Frickabats.
Oh, yes. I do like that one. I do like that one. I was like, wait, what is he talking about? Yeah, I like that one. The shimmers in that palette are really lovely. They're some of my favorites.
So
I just want to let you know that your eyeshadow, matches the photo in the background, because I've been noticing that and I've been watching it.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Ryan painted that.
It looks good. I just want to let you know.
You were going to continue with something because I just wanted to let you know. And it sounded like you were going to lead into something else.
I know.
And then we just stopped and we're like, oh, maybe I should go to the next thing. But I don't know. 9 pans for me are like 9 to 12 pans are like the sweet spot for me. Because I can do a complete look with a 9 pan, and I love to be able to open up a palette and be like, oh, this inspires me. That's part of the reason why different color stories interest me. I mean, and I know that I have every color under the rainbow 10 times over. But
I think the only thing about Huda that has like always been a little weird for me, besides like some like personal things with like the fact that she wasn't using male models with her stuff, but that's besides the point, is like the pan designs. Like, they bother me. Like how some of them have a texture, some of them have like a weird like marble effect. Like they just seem so very like chaotic, and I just can't handle the chaos. I wish it was all one texture all the way across. Personally.
Yeah, I feel like that was a thing that used to bother me, but it doesn't anymore. Except for that one Petri dish shade.
I guess when you start using it though, like when you start using these, like the texture will go away and they'll all look the same.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, the marble shades always look marbly, but I mean, they kind of get smushy together. But like the bronzer from the Glowish was, but kind of texture.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Next up, this is the new Y2K collection from ColourPop. So there's five three 5-pan palettes for $10 each. You can buy all three for $29, which is starting to get pricey. ColourPop, some Super Shock highlighters at $10 each, Super Shock Shadow Ultra Glitters, which are $6 each, So Juicy Lip Plumping Gloss, and Just a Tint Lip Crayons, and 4 hair clips and crystal facials.
I
It's
want
a lot of stuff.
the butterfly clips.
It's a giant.
So bad.
So I just want to say, speaking of Huda, if you already have Mercury in retrograde, it's very similar to this color story of all three of these put together.
Or if you own any of the 9 pans from ColourPop, like Meant to Be, Strawberry Shake, Lilac You a Lot, you have these colors.
Yeah, don't fall for the hype, but they are very cute.
I mean, if you want to get the lip plumping, you can get some swole lips.
Or just eat some hot ramen.
Yeah, or hot ramen.
I'm not a big fan of their So Juicy lip because I don't like the tube lip glosses because I just don't like them. I'm scarred for life from those coming undone, like being in the bottom of a purse and then like going to pull out a wallet and it be covered in slimy lip gloss.
So yeah, you actually sent me a bunch, I remember. And they're sitting in my lip drawer, and I tried one on one day, and I'm like, I don't like this formula.
Well, if you don't like them, don't keep them, because I was like, they came in kits. I always buy the whole set.
But I'm glad you sent it to me to try, because now I'm never going to be inclined to buy it.
I got the So Juicy like a year ago. I was trying to, during my trying to figure out what makeup I like phase, I bought a ton of different glosses, like the butter gloss from NYX, and then the So Juicy. And because I was just looking at what people recommended, like what their favorite lip gloss was, like in videos, right? And I think Butte Bean had said she really liked the So Juicy. I put it on, and it's tacky, and it burned, and it smelled bad, and it tasted bad. Like I don't
thick and goopy.
I don't want
very
gloss
goopy
on my tongue. I don't want that. So yeah.
No, and then it like settles into like the corners, and it just doesn't look pretty. I'll stick to my Tower 28 and Fenty gloss. Thank you.
My Pat McGrath glosses are the best.
Oh yes, actually those are probably the best ones. I have them.
Lunar Beauty has some amazing glosses too. Theirs is a really good formula.
I love Love Potion from Pat McGrath. It's my favorite gloss in my entire collection.
The Just a Tints from the little lip crayon things, I love those because they're like putting on chapstick, but they're more, I don't know, they're more moisturizing. I have a bunch of those. That is a favorite formula.
So what exactly is a lip crayon?
Well, I don't know. It's like a weird, it's almost, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a balm in a tube, but it's not as moisturizing, like as movie as a balm. But I don't know. That sounds weird. But I like them. Do I have one right here? No, that's a balm.
Is Nadia grabbing it?
She has one.
Okay, so is it actually like a crayon that you have to sharpen? Like, is it like the chubstick from Clinique?
It is like a chubstick.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, and you spin it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they smell good.
So those are like a tinted balm.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
But they have a little bit more pigment than a lot of tinted balms. I guess that's part of it too.
So I get it. It's like thicker than a chopstick where it doesn't mush everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I like them. The Super Shock highlighters that are in that are cute. But again, I probably have them. But I do like the butterfly clips. So if I order from them again, I might pick those up.
The highlighters remind me of the lavender collection from Trixie Cosmetics. Didn't you get that one? Did you get
No, I didn't pick that one up.
Okay.
I wasn't a big fan of the colors of the blushes that they decided to use, so I didn't get that one, but I do have Trixie blushes and they are good because I have the Mod collection where it was like the orangey blushes, because I don't like pink blush really. I just don't find it to be the most flattering thing like on my skin tone all the time. And I wear blush because I know I need it, but I don't like to look blushy blush. Does that make sense? Like I don't want it to look like, I just want it to look warm. I
feel
tend
like
to
you prefer like a blush bronzer kind of effect.
Mm-hmm. I prefer that. I like a nude blush. Next up, this is kind of, I'm not sure. I want swatches of this. This is the Naked Cyber.
I need to
Naked
see
white.
also like a straight on photo instead of like why is it so slanted? What's in that corner that you're hiding from me? I need to see it.
Well, I think part of it is, but the photo's so grainy. If you look, you can
Yeah.
almost see the duochrome effect to a couple of these, like
Mhm.
the third one over and then one next to that lighter matte, but the mattes in there are terrible.
Well, we don't even know for sure if they are actually mattes because I know they have in the past put these formulas in there where it looks matte from a distance, but they're more satin, you know,
Yeah.
like kind of like some of the MAC satin shadows.
Satins might as well be matte though.
Yeah, I have some from MAC that still have a sheen to it, though it like looks like satin. It's not super metallic, but you can see the sheen. It's
Okay.
not, yeah.
I will
just
say
look
this.
at this and like I'm like, this is not Urban Decay Cyber. This is Urban Decay White.
Yeah. Also, lose the naked. Like we're over it. It could have just been called cyber, and just like leave it at that. You know.
Well, I do love the background watercolor with the cyber, like the conduits or the conductors, because that's what they have on like microchips. I love that. And I'm hoping like those shimmers are more of the Urban Decay Moon Dust formula, because that is an amazing, like super sparkly formula. Because I still have my Moon Dust palette, and it's one that I won't declutter because it's so good. But I just need to know more. And Urban Decay, I don't know. Y'all know, but who knows? It's kind of like the Pat McGrath palette. Like, as I started seeing other, like, I was so perturbed, but then you see other people's like swatches and you see those shifts. You're like, oh, this actually starts to make a little bit more sense now. So that might be the same kind of thing with this.
I felt like that until I saw Kinky Sweat do her video on it and I saw her swatches and I was like, really, that's it?
I haven't watched her video yet.
They're terrible.
This watercolor on the outside kind of is giving me the same vibe as the Botanic Panic.
Yes.
Do you have that handy?
I do. Hang on. Let me turn around and grab it. I have to do some acrobatics.
Because it looks just like that with cyber connectors on top of it.
Yep, I see that.
Which I don't mind. I think that's very beautiful. Like that's what drew me into that palette was the packaging.
It's so pretty. I love it.
It's a beautiful palette.
So
it's so pretty.
Next up is the Utopian Dream. Jeremy ordered this for me. I was out of town that day and my internet sucked, so Jeremy had to get up early and order this for me. I am actually super excited for the Intensify Eye Artistry wand. I am excited for that. Like, that looks so neat. The shimmers in this, like, I've seen other people's swatches. As I said, I haven't seen Kiki Sweat's video, and I'm like, oh, that's prettier than what I thought it was going to be. Not just looking at Pat McGrath's swatches, but that's so pretty. The packaging is gorgeous, but there's not really other than that much to be said.
There's an account that I want you to pull up. I'm just trying to find it. Can you go to Angela Mary Tanner?
Hold on, let's see.
It's the fourth.
Second one down.
Second one.
Angela
Fourth
Mary Tanner.
There we go. Where did it go?
At the top.
It's like, quit moving on me.
So this person has a post from
this
3 days ago. Yeah. If you scroll through, there are some really interesting swatches in there that show off some different kind of coloring that I think is really, I don't know what the lighting is like, but I think it's the next one or the next two. It actually looks like a rainbow. Like, that is not what Pat McGrath showed in her marketing. And if she had shown this from the very beginning, I would have been way more interested and I would not have been so critical of this launch. But the fact that she said rainbow, rainbow, rainbow.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can you go back one photo?
Yes.
Was that the same palette? So that shade Shockwave looks red there. That is not what it looks like.
I think it's the lighting actually in it because it's just on how it's hitting it.
Yeah. But if you watch also like Kinky Sweats, let me see if I have the picture handy because I took like a screenshot.
I will say this, the mattes in this, that Shockwave shade and Extreme Plum Noir and Secret Eden and Shockwave look a lot like the mattes or what the mattes are going to be. And I'm going to go solo for you.
So that is what Kinky Sweat swatch look like.
So different. So
well, and again, it could be lighting, it could be how her camera is calibrated. I mean, that's all part of it. So many of those things can make a huge difference.
Yeah, and if you look at these swatches, like if you go back a few, like this one right here, they just look like she put them on with like hand lotion underneath on her skin.
Yeah.
They look so like super hyper saturated. It's almost no one's ever going to apply eyeshadow to their face like this. So I'm like, I don't know what to believe. I literally don't know what to believe.
Yeah, I feel like I don't trust anyone. But like also with I don't personally ever trust stencil swatches because you put a stencil on and then like literally people pack on the product. But when you're applying it, that's not how you apply it to your eyes. So it's never going to look like that. I much prefer like people when they do natural swatches, like just one swipe.
And done. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I want to see.
Oh yeah, I get that, Amanda, that you don't see paying the price, especially when you've got indie. But I want to compare it because I do love Pat McGrath. And I will be completely honest about it. Like I wasn't, until I saw the Eye Intensify wand, I wasn't going to go ahead and grab the palette. I thought about it and then I wasn't, and then it was. But the Eye Intensify wand, I was like, that's interesting. I was like, well, I want to get both to see if it, because once I saw it, I was like, well, maybe they're different once you put them on, because sometimes Mama Pat stuff shows up amazing in pictures, but other times it's not all, it's you're like, why are you paying that much for it? But when you actually see it in person, it's so much more special than it, like, it's like the camera can't always capture it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
see,
go ahead.
I don't know, because personally, I've got, I think, 1 mothership, 3 quads, and 2 of the 6 pans. And from what I have not felt blown away. And I almost feel like, I don't know if this is a brand I can put more money into, because I feel like it just, I don't get it. I don't get what everyone else is like, oh, this formula is so special. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. Have I just been spoiled by indie formulas first, that this is just like now mediocre to me? Or
probably.
I don't know. It just, when I swatch Natasha shimmers, I get more joy than when I swatch Pat's. And I don't know if it's because it's a drier formula.
Yeah, see, I'm not. Yeah. Natasha shimmers to me, and that's where personal opinion comes in. I hate Natasha shimmers for the most part. Sometimes I'll get a good one, but like I like the really super sparkly, almost flakiness that Mama Pat has, especially when you put it over a glitter glue, because it really has an impact. And I feel like there's a lot of brands that don't have that. But again, it's everybody's personal opinion and what works for your eyelids and what works for your skin type. I mean, it's like I may love a bronzer and someone else who looks identical to me has oily skin and hates it, you know?
Yeah.
So
I think Natasha has a lot of really interesting formulas within her shimmer collections. Like Natasha has like some shimmers that are very like metallic and silky, and then she
like
has
the
some
bronze
that are
palette.
The bronze has a great, but even with that, like to choose my favorite bronze palette, because we've got the bronze palette from Natasha, and then I have the bronze.
I just
palette,
don't get it.
The bronze seduction palette from Pat. I would pick Pat's palette.
Yeah, I totally get that. It's all about personal preference. I think for me, like the takeaway from seeing this account swatches is like, what's the truth? You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know what to believe. And so because I don't know what to believe, I'm like, how can I even buy this?
Also, I feel like because not a lot of people get PR from Pat McGrath, I'm a little more hesitant to take the opinion of those who get it in PR.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Well,
I know there's going to be some bias there.
This person even said that there's bias in her stuff.
Yeah. So.
oh yeah, I can imagine that because especially as expensive as that is, if you're getting it like as PR, it's like I don't want to stop getting this because I mean, a Pat McGrath collection comes out, and if people expect you to review it, you're going to drop a minimum a lot of times of
Mhm.
$500.
I mean, being on the Pat McGrath PR list is a pretty big deal, I think.
To be able to
It's
have it before
huge.
everybody else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because people search for it even if they're not buying it because it's so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I
But-
think I'm at the point now where like if I'm looking for reviews, I will ask a friend who
Yeah.
owns the product and ask them for like their opinion, like on a one-on-one conversation versus
Yes.
going to watch someone's YouTube video or Instagram post or something like that.
All right, I love you guys. I'll be right back. I gotta go pee.
Okay. Aileen said she only sends PR to stands. And yeah, I see that.
But I mean, hey, I'm a stan. She can send it to me, but I'm still going to be completely honest about what I think about it. It's just I do love her shimmer formula, but I mean, there's also been times that there's been products that I don't absolutely love in packaging. My goodness, there was this pink 6-pan. I bought one of those. There wasn't anything sparkly in it. It was $65 for 6 shades, and I didn't feel like there was a darn thing in it that was special. There was like. Didn't make me happy, did not bring me joy.
Celestial Divinity is more special.
Yes.
Sorry, which one was the one you said didn't feel special?
It's the I think it was the Divine Rose, the 6-pan. It was one of the
I know which one
Is
you're
that called
talking
Rose
about.
Decadence?
Yes, that's the one.
possibly because I
Yeah.
own like all of the rosy
was-
ones.
It was like the last 6-pan to be released.
Mm-hmm.
And
it
it's
was
been
terrible.
on sale. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
I really,
Oh.
yeah, I've learned to love my Celestial Divinity. At first, I wasn't sure about it, but then
Yeah.
the other day I brought it into work with me so my coworker could like swatch some pretty things, and we spent like half an hour on our lunch breaks, like just like touching all the sparkly shadows. And she's like, "Oh my god, this is beautiful! Where can I buy this?" And I'm like, "You can't buy it anymore unless you go to like Poshmark or another place like that, but it's gonna be used." And she's like, "Oh my god, how dare you bring this in? And now I can't
Yeah.
buy it."
Can you highlight Tori's last comment?
Yes. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse.
So I think I saw a video where Maddie said he was kicked off her PR list and he thought it was because he said the shadows weren't worth the price.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing about it is if I didn't do makeup YouTube, I wouldn't buy it unless it was on sale. Like,
Yeah.
and I'll be complete because $125 for a palette is like it's never worth it. I mean,
Yeah.
especially when brands do sales all the time, all the freaking time.
Mhm.
Like it's and you just have to wait a month or two, and you're good to go. So
Yeah.
paying full price for it. Now, if you're doing it on YouTube and you like to do reviews, and I like to be able to play with things before other people, that's why I pay full price for it. But if I didn't do this, no, everything would be purchased on sale. That's
Yeah.
how I am in every other aspect of my life except for makeup.
But I mean, so for me, that comment, what I'm taking away from that is if you don't hype her product, she's not going to send it to you because she doesn't want people to know the negative side of it.
Well, I mean,
from a brand perspective, it makes sense. You only want to send it out to people who are going to sit there and sell it to their followers. That's what she wants. It makes sense.
But then, like, okay, I got PR from Estate Cosmetics, and my video is basically this lacks depth. There are 2 palettes that they sent me. There was no depth whatsoever. They messaged me saying, "We watched your video. Thank you for your feedback. By the way, here's another package that's coming for you."
well,
And they've since sent me more, So it's like, I respect that more than being like, okay, well, I'm not going to take your criticism, so get off my PR.
Well, and part of that too is one, Pat McGrath herself doesn't have control of who's on PR. They've got a team of people who sit there and go through and
Her
they
team.
decide with what is best for the brand. When you're
I like
dealing
her
with an
team.
indie brand like Estate
They're-
or Davina, they are a little bit more open to that because any publicity is good publicity. But I mean,
Yeah.
I get that as well because of being when you own a business, why would you give people like a deal kind of if they're not going to be like, this is amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So yeah, she was deleting, or not she was deleting, but like her team was deleting comments. Her team blocked me last summer because I made a critique on their Instagram page too. And I think I was blocked on Instagram for about 4 or 5 months before I finally got them to unblock me.
I had posted a comment that was like, I feel based on your marketing that the eyeshadow does not match what you've been pushing. You've been pushing rainbows and unicorns and Care Bears, and like I was expecting like cyborg unicorn Care Bear is what I was expecting from this palette, and what I got was like a bunch of dusty rose, and I'm like, it's still a beautiful palette.
And then
but it's not
these
what you were
3
marketing.
shades.
Yeah, and then they went and deleted that comment, and then I posted the same comment. I said, hey, by the way, you deleted this comment, so I'm posting it again. That got deleted. And so then I went and posted, hey, I don't appreciate my comments getting deleted. You know, you should be able to accept criticism. And then I think that one stuck around. But I don't know. I unfollowed Pat McGrath after that situation because I'm like, that's fucking stupid. Sorry. Yeah. But like, I mean, a brand and a person, an individual, whoever, you're allowed to do whatever you want to do on your space. So yeah, I took that as just, okay, that means I'm not welcome here. So I'm going to step aside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't ever comment really on brand stuff for the most part because I just don't care enough to do it. And, you know, I always have to look at it as other people are running the shows behind this. Like the people that own the brands, like I'm sure in the beginning, they have a lot more input and probably care about it in the beginning. But as it progresses, it's another money. It's a cash grab. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, how many eyeshadow, like being a business owner, it's like, I guess the best way, because I'm a business owner and myself, it's like during the beginning of my business, I was excited to have my hands in everything. And now at this point, I'm like,
no,
who cares?
I know, but like, I feel like my comment wasn't even like bad. So it was just me asking about their cruelty-free status at the time. And I don't know what in the world led them to block me. And the only reason I even found out is because a friend sent me a reveal of, or like one of her sneak peeks or whatever on Instagram DM, and it said unavailable. And like, I can't see it. And the friend goes, really? And I go onto a different Instagram account and I can see it. So I'm like, what the heck? Like they've blocked me. Like, guess I made it in life when when Pat McGrath Real blocks you on Instagram. So yeah, it was really dumb. Yeah. I was mad at the brand for a while and I refused to purchase until I kind of got over that.
Yeah, I have. As I said, for me, those kinds of things, it's like, I don't know. I don't really comment on it. I go and check for new releases for this stuff and I'll catch pictures of it. And it's either like, I'm going to buy it or I'm not going to buy it. I just like, I don't know. I just don't have the energy for most things anymore. It's just like,
I mean, that's fine. But I feel like as consumers, we have a right to ask questions.
Oh yeah, no, I
completely. And it's just dumb for a brand to be like, well, block because I don't like what you said. Delete because I don't like what you said.
Well, oh yeah, I completely
You have a
agree.
PR team. You're like, I was probably like what, like under 1K following on Instagram. Like, what is my little comment gonna do?
Oh yeah, it wouldn't do anything. And part of the thing with it too is, I mean, like as I said, I completely understand that. Yeah. And I mean, it's some of that is so freaking stupid. It's like businesses, because you'll go and see businesses get like reviews and then they'll delete the
Yeah.
bad reviews, or like Amazon, because I get approached all the time to purchase this product from Amazon. They'll refund me my money, but
those.
so they can have a verified purchase review of it.
I hate that. Yeah. No.
That's still stupid. But yeah, I'm excited for the eye wand. Like if that's what it does,
Monica, I think that's kind of what it is. There's like a liquid that kind of comes out of it, and the applicator makes it, I guess, easier to apply.
I think it's a stick. Like, I think it's not. I think it's like, it looks like a lip balm for the eyes.
No, it's not. It's a liquid. If you go read the description, like not even this one, but the one on their website, there's a liquid in it. So it's like a pen. You click the back, and the liquid comes out.
Oh, I thought it was like they made it a hard.
It's probably more like a glitter glue consistency.
Huh. We'll have to see. I will show y'all when I get it.
Yeah.
Next.
Oh, Steven, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, you could make that pen yourself if you buy, you can get like watercolor pens that you just fill with water, and then you dip it into like your watercolor paint and you paint with it. So
you can fill it with Maron.
Fill it with Maron and then do it yourself.
Yeah. I don't have time for that.
I just use my NYX. That's all I need.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm just hoping it's a mess-free way to apply it, I guess, is the best thing to do.
Everyone's going to use too much of it is what's going to happen.
Probably. So next up, this is a collection between Beauty Creations. I've never bought anything from them, and El Torres Beauty. And I don't know who they are.
I don't either, but I really like this. It's pretty.
It's pretty, yeah.
It reminds me of the Tartist remixed one that they did for some reason, even though this is marble and that was splatter paint, but there's something about it.
You have that, Rupy.
I was showing that to Steven because you sent me yours.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't reach it. It's too far.
Apollo.
But the shimmers do look beautiful. The shimmers look...
Yeah.
Like for me, and that's the thing, like shimmers are what draw me into an eyeshadow palette. I mean, I could care less about the mattes. I could, but like seeing a pretty sparkly thing, it's like, yay, I need you in my life.
It's that middle bottom shade for me.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of it looks like something that would be a glam light palette if it wasn't the nice pretty marble, and that was like a bright pink or a blue or something like that, and like there was like a cake on the front. It would totally fit within that vibe. What's that? A face palette?
Yes. Okay. So is that the girl or guy or non-binary person that made the collection? Because if so, I'm confused. Because that bronzer doesn't show up on the palest part of them. Does that make sense? Like,
I'm gonna try to grab
that. That doesn't show up. Hold on. Let's see. Let's click and see who the collaborator is, because they're
certainly wearing lots of bracelets. That's for sure.
Yes.
Tori, if it came in a cardboard toaster oven, yes. I want a Pop-Tarts Glam Light collab. That's what I want.
That would be stinking cute.
So here's that interesting packaging one. It's one of those
so cool.
One of those.
Oh, I hate that sound.
Anyways,
we need a trigger warning, Rupy.
Here is the inside of the palette, I guess. Kinda.
No.
I don't know. It just like when I saw it, I was like,
I think it's like the teal, the purple, the kind of gold shade, the orange. Like there's similar colors, definitely. But I think the one by what's the brand called? Beauty Creations. It's more vibrant. It's a more vibrant version of this.
Beauty Creations, this palette could easily be like from Sample Beauty, from Beauty Bay, from Glam Light. It very much fits into that vibe. I think it looks really beautiful. If you don't have anything like it.
Yeah, I think this was the brand that me and Kara C had written off because for like a $12 palette, it was like $60 shipping.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So literally to get a $12 palette, it was like $80.
How much is this palette?
Yeah, no.
It's
24.
$24.
Or you could buy the whole kit for $75.
So
Oh, Anara said last I checked Beauty Creations shipping to Canada was $70.
that's
Holy
ridiculous.
balls.
That is a lot. Okay, next up,
Cool.
this is OPV Beauty, and this is the Bloom palette.
That's really pretty.
It doesn't, okay, this
I
is
don't-
one of those things that drives me nuts. This doesn't match the packaging. Like, that annoys me so bad. There's no blues, there's no purples. You know, on the outside of that, there's some greens, but it's not that Kelly green. Like, make it blend. You know what I'm saying? Your inspiration should match your artwork.
Agreed.
Just so.
Agreed. This
I also don't love like a background behind the eyeshadows. I would much prefer it to just be white or black.
Mm-hmm. So.
I think the packaging on the outside is really pretty. I like the colors. The whole vibe is really cute. It feels like a Moira palette.
You know what it reminds me of? Like a wedding invite you can buy off of Etsy
Yeah.
to just like type your stuff into. That's what it reminds me of.
That's probably what they did. It's probably like a design your own kind of clip arty palette, because I mean, everything about it's kind of clip arty. As I said, the packaging by itself, I like the color story behind it. I think I would have found the inside of the palette to be much more interesting if it went with the outside, or if they would have used like tealy flower. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Amanda is saying that Beauty Creations has colored eye bases that are awesome. So
Yeah, I think if this Bloom palette was a 9-pan with colors inside that match the outside, because I think the outside, the packaging colors are kind of limited, like a pink, a rose, a green, a yellow, like an orange maybe. Like that would have been like a good 9-pan, and then like solidify down, get rid of the packaging picture.
I feel like
pans.
Yeah, I feel like this is a case of where they put together a color story and then just bought some stock art to put on their palette.
yeah.
And this was the best thing they could find.
Bummer.
Because there are colors that are in their packaging that could have went beautifully, like a limey green, a more like that dirty chartreuse, a hot pink, you know, because there's hot pink flowers all over it and there's no hot pink.
Yeah,
like
the
that
more I look
fuchsia.
at it, the more confused I am by the color story.
Yeah, the color stories, it's like
I'll be right back.
It's a
Okay.
half rainbow. Would you consider that a half rainbow?
Like the mattes feel very like dark and primary, and then the shimmers are kind of brighter, and then the packaging is very soft, and then none of it really matches well.
Yeah, it's not
very
that
confused.
ethereal watercolor kind of color story. So does that say anything about price? It doesn't, but you can use code TRENDMOOD to save money. Why don't I have a price?
It's available August 14th, so it's already out.
Yeah, I don't care enough.
This
There's
is
another. Besame is killing it with these, aren't they?
Yeah. Does
Look
anyone
at the
here get some?
detail. I haven't. Has anybody bought the Besame things? I want to know if I shot myself in the foot by not purchasing these. But I love the detail that it makes, like a beautiful pattern using the genie lamps. And I love the enamel and that they use the jewel, like from Jasmine's headpiece. And, you know.
It looks like Angelica got it and is going to do a review. She got it in PR. I think this looks like a very classy ring, like a signet ring or something like that. Like I could see like the Queen of England wearing this as like a ring on her finger or something like that, or like
A
just
big
really
brooch.
fancy. Yes, that's even better. Like a big brooch, like holding her scarf in or something like
Mhm.
that. It'd be like, it's just beautiful. Like when I think luxury, like this is what I want. This is what I expect.
So it's interesting. I think it's beautiful.
So have we figured out, is like the interior the same for all of them?
Yes.
Is it exactly the same color, the same product?
The
everything?
lipsticks are a little bit different, but yes, it is the same highlighter every single time. Oh, but look, I did notice something. There's this little dip here so you could change your pan. That
Interesting.
makes That makes it, like, you wouldn't even have to use Besame products. You could change it to whatever you wanted to.
Oh my gosh. Imagine putting like a giant JD Glow in there for like a highlighter, or even putting like your pat powder in there.
Oh yeah, I would do that. That's awesome.
And it says, I just saw it, and it says Jasmine on the mirror,
Mhm.
and then Besame is on the.
Well, and look, I love
Nice.
that they actually chose a font that matches Aladdin and matches Jasmine. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It's not just,
And of course, you got the Disney copyright there.
yes. And on the powder itself, it has the
Mhm.
Disney copyright. They kind of went, you know.
I'm wondering
but
how they got all those like very fine detailed images on the powder.
it's probably just an overspray.
Okay,
So it's like a stencil and then done with it.
gotcha.
It's
Are
like
you
I got
talking about the embossing?
yeah. It's like because I got the Floracy stuff in, and I'm like, that stuff is so beautiful. How
Yeah.
did they do it without damaging it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like more raised, right?
So
Does anyone
That's-
know if Besame makeup is good? Monica would like to know.
I have heard really good things. I think it was James Welch who said that the Sleeping Beauty palette was one of his favorites. Which the Sleeping Beauty palette that they did a few years ago, I didn't purchase it, but like the PR package, the way it was presented was stunning. It looks like a giant storybook, and then the PR package had like a pillow that was covered in purple satin that the
Wow.
storybook was in, and every color in the palette was matte. They were more muted because
my
they
God.
actually took and matched the eyeshadows to the original hand painted glass artwork from the stills from the movie.
I
Because
remember
how they
seeing
did.
that. This is the thing where like it was the book, and then the eyeshadows are at the very back of the book, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Oh
remember
my
seeing that. It
God.
felt very excessive. It
And
felt
it's
like
on like a pillow. It's so
Yes.
cute.
the It reminds me of storybook cosmetics, kind of, but like done
Yeah.
like maybe a little bit better.
Well, I mean, and it was like all this effort into it, like the care that they put into it is something that I can appreciate. That's one thing I will say about Besame. I haven't tried anything from them yet, but like even when they did their Marilyn Monroe collection, when they do, everything feels very authentic, very well thought through. I mean, like they go hard to make sure it's perfect. Like each one of these compacts, they're all beautiful and a piece of art and different for each character. Like, can you imagine how much time and thought it went to make each of those? Because there's like 12 of them, I think.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they've done better collabs than any of the brands like Hip Dot or ColourPop. Like they take time and thought. I remember with the Marilyn collab, I remember thinking like this feels like Marilyn's makeup, which I really
Mhm.
Yeah.
appreciated.
It
This is the
didn't
kind of
fe-
makeup you would get in Las Vegas. Like you're at the Venetian, you're walking down the aisle of like
Yeah.
all the different shops. Like you can buy like the first edition of, you know, a book from like 1800, and then like the next shop over you can buy like a $500 powder from Besame. Like that's what this feels like.
Yes.
Mhm.
And for what it is, it's not as expensive as you think it would be. Like for the care that is put in each product, there's only 500 of these. They could have charged double, especially for Disney collectors. You know, people who are
Yeah.
like me that are like hardcore Disney collectors, we will pay for some stuff. Like some of the collections that I have for a stuffed animal, if I wanted to go put it like on Macari, I could sell it for $500 when I paid $20 for the stuffed animal, because people are that hardcore about limited edition Disney stuff. It's crazy to me.
Mhm.
So
I just hope that like I hope that there is some weight to the product. You know what I mean? Like there's a brand that's pretty popular right now, and they're luxury, and I have a few other products, and I just don't feel that the packaging is weighted enough
Yeah.
or sturdy enough. It always feels kind of like cheap plastic, and people spend a lot of money on it. And then I look at that, I'm like, okay, $125 for a compact. It better feel like a weapon. That's the kind of weight I want in an expensive piece, you know?
like the Pat McGrath hockey puck highlighter.
Yes.
I still love that packaging. It's so excessive, but that's like with the mothership packaging. Even her foundation, the Pat McGrath, the only problematic packaging I have seen that didn't feel luxurious was the stupid primer.
Yeah.
Because
I just laughed so
So-
hard. What in the Too Faced?
Really. It's like,
Yeah.
did they contact Too Faced to help them with this palette?
Betsy, that's a good video idea. You could go through and like pick out some of your favorite packaging across the board, like things that you really love. I think people would appreciate that.
Yeah.
I can do that because I do. I appreciate beautiful packaging. Okay, so let me tell you about this. Like, I love cherry Coke. It's
Speaking
one of
of
my
packaging.
favorite
Yeah.
things. I think that the packaging on this is gorgeous. What they did with the collaboration, it feels very much.
It looks like cola. It looks
It
like cherry
does.
Coke.
Yeah.
It reminds me of something that Coke would put out. The colors are
is-
actually pretty good in this palette, but it's morphine. I won't touch
Yeah.
it.
I would say this is probably the best Coca-Cola collab that they've done out of like the 3 or 4 that they have done so far. Like,
I
this
love
is the
that they use
best execution.
And
It
I'm
looks
hoping
like
it's that same metal tin packaging that Too Faced uses, because then
Yeah.
it feels like a Coke can. You
So
know?
the inside of the palette, like the actual shadows, reminds me of the Too Faced makeup by Marielle.
Mm-hmm.
You know which one I'm talking about?
That
That
red
red
hot-
pink. Yeah. So it looks like that smashed into the original Too Faced tin
The
packaging.
unit carton literally looks like if you were to go to the store and get the 12-pack box
Yeah.
of the cherry Coke. That's
Mhm.
that's what I don't know why, but the more I look at this, the more I want it. Like, I want it so bad right now, and I have to go home and I have to dupe this out so that I don't buy this.
Yeah.
Christina
I'm sure you have
said,
it.
Besame product packaging holds up against the price. Excellent products with beautiful weighted packaging.
Thank
Great
you.
to know. Thank you.
Yes. That makes me excited to try more from them. But yeah, I won't buy this, even as much as everything about this
I
pulls
know.
to my soul, because y'all know I am a sucker for, like, I am a brand whore. I mean, I will say this, like, and it's not just makeup brands. It's like, I am obsessed with pop culture stuff.
Mhm.
But Morphe just, I can't. They're just, their products really do suck. And even if you get something that's good, it's like, I don't even want to show it or use it, because then you get excited to want to try something else and you know it's going to suck.
Yeah.
The only Morphe products I have 2. I bought the James Charles Mini. I was not a fan of the eyeshadow in his palette because it felt more like pressed pigments than eyeshadow. And I'm an eyeshadow person, so I like to do very soft blended looks.
Yeah.
And so like a Natasha Denona eyeshadow is like perfect for that, versus
Mhm.
like a pressed pigment, which is going to kind of like just stick to your eye, and then you have to like pat around it kind of thing. That's just not how I do my eyeshadow. And then
Yeah.
also I have the M2 collection that they came out with those TikTok girls. I bought the dropper foundation stuff, and that is literal garbage. So
Mhm.
I think the only Morphe thing I have is my brushes that I have from Morphe that I actually do use. Other than that, I don't think I own anything Morphe anymore.
I got rid of everything Morphe that I own. Nadia now has it all, like my brushes and everything, except for the Jaclyn Hill complete brush set that I bought a few years ago. Because
I love this highlighter brush from them.
Oh, I do have a Morphe brush
Mm,
because
love
Danny
it.
told me to get. It's a natural fiber. I think it's the 501 that I have.
This is the 501.
Yeah, that's what I have. 'Cause
Yeah.
Danny's like, you need to get that natural hair
It's-
brush to use like a specific like jelly highlighter
This,
formula that I have.
yeah, this with like a baked gelée.
works
It's
beautiful.
so good. It's so
It
good.
does.
But-
So we have a comment from, I think your name is Stella. I'm
It
so
is
sorry.
Stella.
Stella. Okay, apologies about the Besame powder range being
Oh.
bad. So
Oh,
yeah, that's something
not
to
good.
keep your
That
eye
isn't,
on.
yeah, you have to remember to go with the brands that make you feel comfortable with what you're purchasing,
For sure.
whether shade ranges or what. But yeah, I won't get rid of my Jaclyn Hill brushes because it is a full complete set, and there were enough brushes and it stays, and I only bring it with me like if I go somewhere, which
Yeah.
they haven't been used in years now at this point. But I mean, it's just a great complete set.
Yeah.
And they
Does it come in,
weren't
like a roll or
expensive.
a kit or something like that.
Yeah, it's in like this square box, and it has like the kit had like 20 eye brushes to start with. And even when I'm on vacation, I do a lot of eye looks. It's my thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no
I think
Morphe
there
for
was
me.
some Morphe brushes that came out recently with a influencer collab,
Oh,
and it
it was the Ariel. It was Kylie Jenner's makeup artist, Ariel something.
They looked so beautiful and clean and sleek, but then people were complaining.
They were
about
rubbing off.
rubbing off and chipping.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, and now if you're getting started and you get a great deal on them and you need brushes, by all means spend your money how you want to. But
Yeah.
I would never recommend being like, I'm going to get Morphe and it's going to last me forever, because honey, it ain't. I mean,
would
it's
rather recommend something like Real Techniques or Elf or NYX. Even like they all have
Wet and
Spectrum.
Wild has good brushes. Like, I mean, there's a lot. Sonia Kushik, if they're still at Target, like there's a lot of good inexpensive brushes. Spectrum, when they have a sale, their brushes are amazing.
Nabla has amazing brushes. I love my Nabla. Yeah.
The Refer brushes are amazing for natural hair, and they're like, they're on par with like my Sonia G's and stuff like that, but a fraction of the cost.
Yeah.
So just so you know.
And Sigma's another brand. So there's tons out there. Like, yeah.
Sigma is great too. Next up, we are excited for this.
Yes.
Cinema Secrets has a new scent. So it's tropical lemon.
I'm excited for this, so I don't have to feel like I want to throw up every time I clean my brushes with Cinema Secrets.
Yeah. I bought Cinema Secrets during the last Sephora sale, and I got a big packet, a big bottle of it, and then I got like the mini travel one. And I'm so glad I got the mini travel, because as soon as I opened it up and I used it once, it was instant headache.
It's such a terrible scent.
I'm very sensitive to smells, and it was like the worst I've ever smelled. And here's the thing, even though this is going to be like tropical lemon scent, which is a much better scent for me, if it's just as strong as the other one, that's still going to be an issue for me. I need an unscented. I would rather smell the smell of alcohol, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I think I would be okay with this one. To me, the other one, I don't know, it's just something, that mixture of like, it smells like vodka and vanilla, and I don't jive with it. But vodka with like a citrus, I'm okay with that scent. That just makes me sick. It reminds me of things at 21 that I don't want to remember. So
it also
and I think also being like in a smaller space with it, it definitely will bother you a whole lot more.
Oh, yeah.
The smell for me was, I had a friend in high school, and her family had lots of animals, and you know, they didn't maybe keep the cleanest of houses, and so to cover up the smell of the animals,
spray stuff,
they used lots and lots and lots of air fresheners. So they had a different air freshener in every room, like the Glade plugins. And you walk into their house, and I literally, my throat would just like burn from like all the air freshener, and I just can't.
They probably also used like the spray air fresheners before people came over. Yeah. I hate that stuff. I cannot stand it. No,
the nicest family, the sweetest family in the world, but like they did not. Too many air fresheners.
Yeah. Air fresheners give me headaches. I can't do air fresheners, not even in the car.
So I think, I don't know if you're still on here, Haley, but I think you were looking at these potentially buxom.
Yes.
I've heard good things.
She was talking to me about these two. Are these the same formula as like their regular buxom? Like the plumping?
I think so. It says they're just bringing out a fall collection.
Okay.
They're spiced up full-on plumping glosses. The colors are pretty. I really like this dark brown. Yeah. Like it's very 90s lip.
Yeah.
So I really like that.
The top shade is my favorite because I'm that boring.
What do we, like, how does the formula compare to other formulas? Try to like paint us a picture of how it works.
I haven't used one of these in a long time.
I've never used it, but I've heard good things.
I remember loving the formula because this is the only gloss that I had in like the big tube and little tubes, and I used all of them up, like all of them. I would say it was probably a little more sticky than something like Tower 28. And the tingling feeling wasn't super crazy where it made you feel like your lips are burning, but I did really like these when I had them. Will I be picking any of these up? Probably not, because I don't need them. I have one, I think, but it's like,
the reason I want this is the scent. So if you read the scent profile, it says there's 2 scents. You have sweet scents, hints of cinnamon and nutmeg or creamy vanilla. That cinnamon and nutmeg scent is calling out to me. You know, Ryan's in the other room, probably not on the chat anymore, but he knows for me, like my, what do you call it? My weakness is cinnamon and nutmeg. I love those 2 scents. I love those flavors. Everything for me, cinnamon and nutmeg. We put it in our pancakes. We put it in our coffees. I love cinnamon and nutmeg.
Okay, so I have one. I didn't realize I had one. I'm trying it on. It's not super sticky, but it is a little more like sticky than, say, like the Tower 28, the Pat McGrath. It's got a little more tack to it, nothing crazy. Slight tingling, smells so good.
What does yours smell like? Is it the vanilla?
Yeah, it's like vanilla cupcakes or something.
Okay. I always love when lip glosses smell like cupcakes. I love cupcakes.
Oh my gosh, Pat McGrath's lip gloss smells so good.
Yeah.
So next up, let's go to, what is this? This is skincare. Okay. Skincare is so boring. Like,
Make Beauty. I don't know them.
I don't know. It's AHA exfoliating solution. So, but I love my AHA, BHA from The Ordinary, which is like $6 and this is $40. So,
Yeah, you got me onto The Ordinary. I've been using their retinol and their vitamin C. It is so good.
The Ordinary, so like if you're looking for good skincare, like you don't have, now I get that some people think you have to spend a ton and it does depend on your skin, but I always recommend trying out Ordinary, Inky List, and Good Molecules to start with. And if they work, don't spend any more because what's the point? Why are you going to
work your way up?
Yes. Yeah. See what works. Like if you find something that works for your skin, stick with it because keeping a good routine for your skin is one of the best things you can do.
I will say though, like this is something that I've been seeing on a few different channels. It's talking about like the most expensive product is the one you don't use. So if spending like $10 more on skincare is going to give you like the packaging you want or the scent you want or the experience you want. And that's going to make you use your skincare versus like The Ordinary or some other brand. Like buy the more expensive one because then you're going to use it.
Yes. Yeah. Whatever's going to make you use it. But yes, skincare is important, but I don't think it always has to be. The main thing is it doesn't have to be expensive.
Yeah.
But do find what works for you. Because I know some people can like use just a cold cream and be done with it, Let's go look at some luxury stuff so we can rage a little bit because like as much as I love luxury on some stuff, I don't for everything. Okay, so these are some this is Charlotte Tilbury's luxury palette of pearls.
She's doing duochromes in these.
But are they special duochromes? Like, are they really duochromes?
They're probably not. I sent one of them to my best friend to look at because she was looking for something that was like a very natural tone duochrome, like something that shifted maybe like slightly gold to pink that was like a barely there type of look. So I was like, I think this is something you'd be into. So I sent it off to her, but I don't think they're very special.
The packaging is adorable. I don't know. I still love stars. I love the name of the blushes, Tinted Love. Like, I love the pun. But as far as the eyeshadows go, like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel super special.
I have a quad from Charlotte Tilbury. I have the Walk of No Shame quad or the Walk of Shame quad. I can't remember which one it is. And then I have the Bejeweled Eyes Hypnotize. And they're actually really lovely. Like the formula is really nice.
So I have one too, and I don't know where I put it.
But they're definitely more like we were talking earlier about, like more of a satin shimmer.
Yeah,
and that's what you get from these. It's a very smooth, satiny kind of finish. I don't like her mattes though.
I don't want to sound offensive when I say this because I own like one of the 10 pan, the 12 pan that came out last Christmas, and I have a few of the quads.
Like the silver one.
Yes. Yeah. So I have several Charlotte. Yes. So I have several Charlotte Tilbury items. It's very Mother of the Bride to me.
Oh, absolutely. It's very like, I want shimmer, but I don't want to be like loud.
So I actually was wearing this palette, I think like last weekend, my video that went up that I was talking about my 10 products that I was currently loving. And I loved, like, when I swatched this out, I was like, oh, eh. And I put it on the eyes and I was like, ooh, I like this. But the thing is, I think I'm realizing that my makeup style is different than what I thought it was be. So I thought it was. I know, Betsy, you love like the punchy shimmers, but I'm starting to learn that's not what I love. I like the Natasha level of shimmer, the Charlotte level
that's
of
what I'm
shimmer.
saying. That I think, like, for us, like, when we talk about it, I think that's why Pat McGrath is more worth it to me, because the kind of, and Steven loves his like faint hints of shimmer or color, where it's like he wants it to be sparkly, but he doesn't want it to have a lot of base color.
Yeah.
So like
I think
the Halo Moons is perfect for me.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's like what I'm now starting to get into.
Yeah.
I don't want like bold bam. I don't know.
I think that their eyeshadows, from my experience, the ones I have, they're actually pretty pigmented. So those swatches there, that's probably like one or two swipes, to be quite honest. So like if you're interested in this color story, if the brand speaks to you, they look really beautiful.
Yeah. I feel like they also apply better on the eyelid with a brush rather than just swatching it out on your arm.
They do. And they do feel like they blend themselves out. Like if you want something easy, let me tell you, and this is something I will definitely say about Charlotte Tilbury's brand. If you want to look put together, you want to look polished, and it to be easy and effortless, it is definitely a brand to go to. And they have a great, at least from what I've seen and pretty much everything that they've come out with, they have a great shade range. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, no brand is, but they have a great shade range in what they do come out with. Some of their quads have depth, some of them don't. I mean, but it's like there's a mixture of what it is, and it's always been good quality. Like, I don't think that I've tried a product that is bad, I guess is the best way to put it.
And the thing about Charlotte is it's definitely like on the cusp of prestige versus luxury, because it's not too expensive where it feels like I could never possibly see myself spending that much money on it. But it's not like cheap either. It's by no means inexpensive. No. It's expensive, but it's not.
But like it's more affordable than buying something like Tom Ford or Dior. Yeah,
exactly.
But
I feel like her products a lot of times are better quality than a lot of luxury brands too.
Honestly,
I love that flawless filter. That flawless filter is going to go in the grave with me. I like it better than Auric. I have to be honest. Auric is too thick for me.
It is a little too thick. I always have to mix it in with the moisturizer and use it as a skincare thing.
Well, and like her contour wand is amazing.
Christina, I agree that Charlotte needs to improve her face palette ranges, but here's where I will also say face palettes are a scam and you shouldn't buy a face palette. So buy individual products and then you're good.
One thing, and here, this is something like for the face palette, I can say, like, I have the deepest one of the Love, like, I think it was the Love one or Lovegasm. It goes, like, it builds. Like, that bronzer, like, I can make it go too dark for me, which says a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, most face palettes, I could literally pack on bronzer and it not show up. But hers, I can't. Is it? And Rupy, you have the same one too.
Yeah, I have that one. And I also felt the same way about the Film Star Bronze and Glow, because there's only two shades. There's the lighter one, the light medium, and then the medium deep. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I should get medium deep because the bronzer will work on me, but I don't like that highlighter color for myself. And then I'm looking at the lighter one. I'm like, I don't know about that bronzer shade, but that highlighter would be perfect. So I bought the lighter one, and I can build that bronzer too.
Yeah, that's the one.
It
I
actually,
have as well, Rupy.
I think I recommended that one to you because it's very light, and then you can slowly build. Yeah,
that one. Well, at the coloring app now, I can't build it at all.
It might not work for me right now either in the summer, but definitely winter I can use it.
But I do feel like the baked gelée, I like those. But I did give Nadia, or it's in my thing to give Nadia's the mini of the Film Star Bronze and Glow. Like, I'm interested in trying the deeper one of the two. But yeah, either way, her products, the main thing about it is her products are great. I mean, and
I think her eyeshadow has, from what I've heard from my friend who is a rep for them, or whatever his actual title is. But anyways, they said that there's actual primer built into the formula of the eyeshadow, and so like you probably don't even need to use a primer when you're using the formula because it just like it will stick to your skin real nicely.
So there's like a 6-pan version of like whatever this is, the palettes called the Charlotte Darling. And I used that last summer for a lot of events. And in one of them, I did forget to use primer and my eyeshadow did not budge.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
That's an oily eyelid. So
one thing I will say about Charlotte Tilbury and her face palettes, at least she does 2. Hourglass, we can barely get one, and it never, ever, ever, ever gets any darker. At my palest shade, their bronzer barely works. And when I'm dark enough, I could use it as a setting powder, and that's sad because I am a medium. That's it. Sorry, not sorry. They need change. Mm-hmm. So at least she does multiples. I can say that
brands that provided face palettes like Charlotte, because I know that their pans can be removed and moved around. I wish that they allowed you to customize a palette. That would be really
would make sense. That would be awesome. Like to come out with it and just have like 4 bronzer shades. I mean, it doesn't have to be every shade. I get that because, if you're doing a limited edition, like Christmas palette, like quad of blushes, because blush trends and bronzer trends, let's face it, these things do change. Sometimes people want shimmery bronzer. Sometimes people want matte, the formulas.
You could get away with having a wide range of bronzer powders and then like the packaging changes. Yeah. And then then you can have like a permanent range of like 6 bronzers that will work on all skin tones or more bronzers. And then like people can just pick and choose the tones that they want to fit into their face palettes. And then the palettes are the thing that changes from season to season.
Mm-hmm. I think that if they came out with and I think for bronzers, if they have a good, like a great buildable formula, you don't have to have 50 shades in a range to work for the bulk of skin types. But I think a lot of times, a lot of brands, it's either too pigmented or where you can only use it on your certain shade, or it's not pigmented enough or not, and it's not buildable that it just, you can't do anything with it. Next up, House of Sillage is doing what is this? Whispers of Enchantment, 20% oil concentrate perfume.
Is this supposed to be St. Patrick's Day?
I don't know what this is. I guess it's a new perfume. It looks like a cupcake. I love their packaging, but I still haven't bought
at the end of the rainbow.
It does. It does feel very like, I think that would have been cute at St. Patrick's. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I have no comments on a fragrance that I'm never going to smell or never going to buy.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's Chanel's stuff. This is what new blushes, blush water. Why would you want that name right there? It's like
it literally, though. I remember when these were like sneak peeked a while ago. It literally, when squirted out, it's like water with like little beads of color, and then when you start spreading it out, it like crushes them up. Ugh.
Yeah, no. None of this appeals to me at all. Like, I don't know. Yeah. So microfluidic technology. So the Les Beige et de Blush adopts microfluid technology. Fluidic. That is an odd. 80%
has naturally derived active ingredients such as tamarind seed extract.
It has micro bubbles. That is such like with a fresh texture. I don't want my blush to feel like it has balls in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want my blush to feel textured.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah.
It's a no from me, dog.
I know that blush, whenever we saw the swatch, it looked kind of like separate, like old makeup.
Yeah, it didn't look good.
That's a no. Next.
Yeah.
That's her unboxing the House of Sillage That's the new NARS. I buy those and then because I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. And then I really hate NARS blushes.
They had one face palette that I regret buying or regret not buying. And it was, I can't remember what the name of it is because it's one I can't pronounce. But there's a beautiful highlighter in it and then like a bunch of like bronzers. And I think it was just bronzer and highlighter. Oh, I can't remember. I'll look it up.
Well, I like my Claudette blush from NARS, but almost all of their blushes are shimmery. And like, because I have like Orgasm, I've had Orgasm and I've had Orgasm X and I've had like Deep Throat or whatever, everything in like the.
It was the Bord de Plage.
That looks pretty.
That was the one I wanted and I never bought it. And it's the biggest regret of my life because my best friend has it and it's beautiful.
The biggest regret of my life.
But for NARS blushes, like for some reason, most of the time, like when they're in these palettes, they're so hard pressed, you can't get much pigment. And their blush formula, I don't know if it's because it's a lot of them that are so shimmery, they hard pan. And like, I don't know. It's just not as like Orgasm and Orgasm X. They're like, everybody loves that pink shade. And I'm like, it's really not the most flattering on my skin tone.
I've tried it. I don't love it on me either.
So, but like this is just like a no. It's like, I want it to work, but it never does. So why do I keep going?
I'm just going to.
Because they're just so appealing
face
to
palette.
eyes.
Face palette.
But I do love that red blush. It's like, can I buy it just to buy that? And then,
I know.
But then I'll be like, I'll buy it and won't use it because it'll be terrible.
You've got a red eyeshadow you could use.
So Night Star Beauty said actually she was skeptical of that water fresh tint, but she said she actually really likes it.
But she's talking about foundation. Is it the same thing though? Is it like balls?
I think so. I think it's like a clear gel with like the pigment balls inside of it.
Oh.
Okay, so we looked at this before. This highlighter is stunning. Like that is always so appealing to me.
Actually, it looks very deep, which is great.
Yes, this looks like Claire's makeup. Tell me that.
I remember that.
That looks like. Yeah, they look like.
It looks cheap.
Now, okay, so I think we're pretty much caught on that. Let's go to because. This is about one of the only pages that updates their indie stuff.
Look at those lashes.
That's what she's going to notice.
Nadia.
The lashes.
This is your reminder, Nadia, to pick your lashes up off the ground so that people don't see them and think they're caterpillars.
Bruno always thinks they're spiders.
No, have y'all seen these? Betsy gave them to me. I'm excited to wear them. Like,
oh yeah, the ones from the. What was it? She Glam or whatever?
Yes, from Shein. These are pretty expensive though. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, these are
they're mink. They're mink.
Oh, so never mind. Never mind.
It's a pass.
I wouldn't buy those.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but there is no cruelty-free ethical way that you're getting mink hair.
Oh no, because to make them lose their hair to even try to catch it like that to be able to make lashes, you have to scare them badly, and that's just no.
Oh, I was gonna jokingly say, what do? Do you like jump up on them and like scare them? But you're
it stresses them out and they lose their hair, and that's just wrong. You don't do that to those poor babies.
You probably use like flashing lights or something like that, so they're probably also gone blind.
Probably, and they're stuck in inhumane situations. I want to go stick a bunch of people in a pen like they do those poor babies. Next, all right. So now we've got lavish
haunted house.
Yes, lavish Loca eyeshadow palette. So that's Loca Lashes Co. I think is the brand. It's half glitter, half whatever. Or I'm not sure if those are mattes because that is the worst picture.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. I'm not trying to be mean, but that is terrible. And I hate, like, if you're going to do a brand picture, okay, I'm sure they got more than one palette. And if you didn't, you need to know how to reset your eyeshadows because if this is what you're going to post is what you want people to buy, don't have your eyeshadows like all cattywampus in there. Like, have them perfect.
Everything for me is like there's just things that are just slightly off, like the lighting's just slightly off, the the pans in there are just slightly not in
Yeah.
center, and then the palette itself is just slightly askew, like just small things. And I'm like, it looks like a picture I would have taken a year ago when I got a palette and I was excited to share it with my friends. That's what I took this picture.
This is giving me anxiety. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, bougie is not underneath the eyeshadow all the way. It's like crooked. Like, it's not crooked. I don't know. It's like off to the side. Like all the words are.
Yeah.
And I can't
Also,
look
the
at
word
this.
bougie is in there twice, so it's Loca and bougie, and then underneath it is bougie.
Yeah, just call
is
it
weird.
Loca.
I don't like that.
And instead of lavish Loca, just use lavish.
So I like the color story though. So I'll just say that. I think it's a pretty color story. I like that those mattes seem to have some good depth to them. And then there's like a really bright, peach shade in Lush.
Peachy shade, maybe?
Yeah. You could use that to like blend stuff out, I guess. And if the glitters are nice, if it's a good formula, I love when
I would
the
use
glitter
them.
like sticks to itself. You know, it looks really pretty.
The only thing I will say is there's nothing to use as an inner corner highlight shade.
Nope. And like, I even love the artwork behind it. Like, I do love that it has like a little bit of texture. It looks like a painting. But yeah, no, that's a no from me.
But if you look closer, there's like brows and lashes behind Lavish Loca. Do you see it?
There is. Oh, that's tacky.
Yeah,
Where?
I don't like that.
I don't see what you're talking
Right
about.
behind Lavish Loca, there's a brow. There's eyes underneath, like Huda, you know?
Oh, so this is like someone who took some stock pictures and is trying to make their own thing.
Yeah.
So they tried. They
overlaid it, lowered the opacity.
Yeah, they tried.
Yeah.
Next up, this is Creative Soul Cosmetics, and this is the Color Burst palette. Contains 25 versatile shades. So it's pressed glitters and mattes.
That is a lot of freaking colors.
Glam light.
The gradient is satisfying, but this is not something I need because I feel like I'm not wearing color like this right now.
No, it's so fun. I really like it. Here's what I wish. I wish that the glitters were all the way to one side and then the mattes were all the way on the other side, because I just feel like those glitters are going to get all over everything.
Yeah.
I think I like my Blend Bunny shade range better. Like, I feel like a lot of these shades, like when I'm looking at it, actually like they will come close, like this grape shade and slate, which why is that slate? Slate has gray undertones to it. That is almost a royal blue. Sorry, not sorry. So that is the wrong shade. I don't know. Like when people name things and it doesn't match what it's supposed to, it irritates me to no end. This shade for Cotton Candy. Cotton Candy, if you're going to do a Cotton Candy pink, it is this. Like super, like almost a whitish pink, because that's just how it works. It's sponge sugar.
I don't even look at shade names anymore, especially with like Natasha, because I've been moving my shades around, so that doesn't even matter what they're called anymore. But I get
that grape looks blue to me.
Yes, like this shade is called Moss. Lime green is not moss green. Moss green is like a sagey kind of green. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't.
I would love a sage green eyeshadow.
Okay, but Moss in Forests here looks like that color.
True. Yes.
It's really bright.
Yeah, they're vibrant. They're growing. They're wet.
Mm-hmm.
The way that I always go off of like the color names for this.
It's Crayola.
Who
the crayons. I know. Not me.
Like, that's where I got my shade names. That's how I really learned my colors. And I've always been the girl who wants, like, you should know I love color because I am the girl that literally buys the biggest box of crayons. Like, I have a box of crayons at home because I still love to go buy crayons. There's nothing like a fresh, sharp, brand new Crayola crayon. I have a weird obsession with office supplies, just like, you know. But like, I have a box of 188 Crayola crayons that are all different.
Wow. I remember like when I first discovered like Pantone color of the year and that kind of thing, I started referring to everything through Pantone. So I remember I was like, wow, that's a really beautiful Marsala colored dress. I want that.
I will like use, sorry, at work we do a lot of branded color type stuff. And so there's like a whole bunch of colors that I know based just on like their hex codes, like inside Photoshop.
Well,
like,
like Coca-Cola has like their own color. It's
Their brand
Coca-Cola
colors.
Red. You've
Yeah.
got, you
Disney
know,
probably has its own colors too.
well, yeah, Disney blue. They have like a certain blue that you use. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, you know, that is their technical Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys. Their navy that they use is a specific Pantone color, and so is their silver. It's kind of crazy. So that way people can't replicate it. But yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun color story here. Nothing I need. But
yeah.
Since you brought up Blend's palette, I know they had hinted at a second palette coming out at some point, but I have not seen or heard any update from them about that. So if anyone has any information, please let me know.
I think they're revealing it. I feel like it's coming out in September. So I find Blends is going to be one of those brands where they reveal it and then like a week or two later it'll be available. There's not going to be that long pause of
That's always good.
I like that when brands do that. So I hope like, you know, it's soon because I'm excited to see what they have in store.
And one other thing that drives me nuts about this is the way that they name the colors. A lot of them are named colors like actual like orchid and tangerine and moss. Those are typical color names that you would, and then they've got Mardi Gras.
It's like, it's like, well, okay, we know what color tangerine is, but what color is Mardi Gras?
I hear Mardi Gras and I think purple or green or yellow.
Which shade is Mardi Gras?
The center shade.
Oh, I wonder if it's the glitters have fun names. I didn't read them, but I'm just...
That Mardi Gras color looks like maroon.
It does. And
I can't read them. Whatever that font is, I can't read it.
Nadia, how about a video idea for your channel is to like redo palettes in Photoshop?
Yeah.
You could redo this one.
Yeah.
And
I
Ruby,
cannot read that.
That's supposed to be Ruby. Ruby's my birthstone. Ruby is pink. They always say it's red, but Ruby is not. It's like a deep...
Garnet is red.
Yes, exactly. Ruby is like a deep, deep, deep hot pink. It's so pretty.
That Mardi Gras shade, if it was a little deeper, it could be Ruby.
These are I think these are Moira. Moira.
Yeah, it is.
These are cute. Like, I really love this one. It reminds me of a 70s kitchen. Like, I kind of want it because it like, you know what I'm saying?
They feel very retro, especially they've got like the little icons. They like the one that's like the browns. They've got like coconut straws come out of it. It feels super cutesy retro, and I'm really into it.
I don't really need them, but they are cute.
This kind of gives me the Parks vibes from Nomad.
Mm-hmm. I know people really enjoy their Moira products, so if you see something you want, and they're not that expensive.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can buy all 4 of them for $52. Their blushes, I have 4 of their blushes, and their blushes are good.
Or you could buy a single eyeshadow from a brand for $52.
Yeah. No shade. Next. Okay. These are Dandelion Co. I've never bought anything from them. I've heard of, these are nail polishes and
these are like Easter eggs.
Oh, yeah, nail polish and liquid eyeshadow. So they have liquid eyeshadow in 2 sizes, and then they are launching 8 nail polishes.
But why do some match and some don't?
What do you mean?
So confused.
Look, okay, so you've got Payday and Spark, Monarch, Grass Whistle, Cerulean.
So what I think it is I feel like they're using their pigment that they use to make their eyeshadow formula.
But they don't match.
Like Wanda,
but
Wanda
Spark,
matches, but Spark Magus doesn't.
Yes. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they're
these are the same.
More yellow and Payday is more gold.
But they might be 2 different eyeshadow shades that they're turning into.
Oh, I get that, but
like I wonder if it's because Payday maybe didn't look as good or something. I don't know.
But you see what I'm saying? It's weird.
Yeah.
Extra sensory does not match.
But there's also only 7 liquid eyeshadows and there's 8 polishes. Well, because there's the clear coat, but whatever.
I don't know. I think what I'm seeing here is like, why bother making them all like making most of them like have like a partner and then like 2 of them not have a partner, but they're also very close in color. And that's like the weird thing I'm having. Just give them different names.
personally, I find them all kind of ugly.
I don't like any of them.
We're like, we spent so much time
They
talking about the
remind
names.
me
Now let's talk about the
of
product.
those cheap nail polishes you could get your like daughter for Easter because you have them in an Easter basket.
I just don't like the
Walmart
applicator of those. It looks like the lid is going to be really big, and then
Those look so dull.
They're not very pretty. I mean, I'm sorry, but they're not. And the price of them's cheap, but they look, and this is going to sound mean, and I know it is, but I don't care. It looks cheap. The whole thing around it, it looks cheap. It looks like the makeup that you'd buy at the Dollar Tree. And I'm not trying to be shady, but it really does. And you have to, like, there's got to be something to draw people in. Like, there's no labeling on your there. And I'm sure that they probably hand make this stuff and buy basic packaging.
Also, I don't like how they're marketing it in this one big whatever this. I don't know. I don't like how it looks. I don't like any of it.
This is Indie Makeup Hotspot who did it this way. So if we
But
watch
she
the Daniel
probably-
Lines Co, they might look different.
But even the individual photos, you know that little cork board thing, I use that to put my boiling hot pots on.
Yeah,
those are from IKEA. Why is that in your photo?
And why is your
kinda
fake
weird.
nail on a stone? Like a stone.
Because they're charging the nail to get good energy.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, it just, all of it feels like, this is what I'm saying whenever I'm talking about like brands being thought through. This
It
doesn't
make
feel
sense.
it doesn't feel thought through in the least little bit. Nothing about it feels super special, and everything feels like Dollar Tree makeup. And I'm not, as I said, I'm not trying to be mean. There's no labeling, and I get that they're making this stuff themselves, but like Poot Snoot or whatever, y'all, I've sent y'all stuff from that girl makes on Etsy, and it's like one product. She reuses packaging, but it looks thought out. You know what I'm saying?
It feels like they didn't like go the step further. So it's like they did an assignment for a college project, right? They did their assignment, and they're like, you know what? It's good enough to get a passing grade. And that's what they did. This was not the person who's like, I'm going to get that 100% score. They're like, it's good enough.
Yeah,
and
no.
For some people, good enough is good enough. And that's fine.
Here's the thing is, you don't need to go do all these amazing things to get a beautiful background for your photos. Like, look at this one. They just put it out in front of their, flowers or whatever, their bush, and they just take a photo of it. You can grab like your bed sheet or something, make it look all,
you could make it.
No one's going to notice. Exactly. A sweater, a dress. I've used a shawl before, like a red velvet shawl, to do my, my Charlotte Tilbury photos.
You just have to know what's going to be.
Just use what you have. It's so easy. And I'm sure there's something I would rather see it on concrete. Yes. I think that would look really cool. Personally.
I just think that the whole thing should have been more well thought through.
Bush.
Okay. Now for this,
Kylie Jenner's next collection is also going to be filmed on a bush, but a different kind.
So next up, this is Self-Made Beauty, and this is their Halloween palette. The artwork on this is really cool. I love the graphic, like traditional clown makeup aspect that is a little twisted. The color story, again, doesn't match the packaging, at least not to me. And the color story, maybe it's the bright lights, being outside in the sun, just doesn't. Nothing about this looks super special to me. I'm sorry. It really just, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of looking at these palettes that have like this artwork, and then you look at the inside and you're like, that doesn't go together. And like, because there's nothing about, and again, it's a Halloween palette, but it's not traditional Halloween artwork on the outside, but the colors on the inside are kind of, but not really.
Feel like they could have used those colors on the eyeshadow look. So if you're looking at it, you've got like the grayish black that could have been used, and then like the red and like maybe like that like more muted deep rose color, Melvada. I think they could have used this palette to create the look that they did in this picture. It honestly reminds me of the BH Chinese New Year's palette that you have, Betsy. That's what this is reminding me of, which I think is a beautiful palette.
And it is a beautiful palette, but you see what I'm saying? Like, to me, it doesn't, like, there's no orange, like, this is a Halloween palette.
I'm
Like,
also getting very Alien Cosmetics vibes from this.
well, and again, the names. People. If I can talk to brains about
Yellow
one
is
thing,
not
if you're
Twilight. How is yellow
no,
Twilight?
if you're going to name a eyeshadow, if you're going to name an eyeshadow, name it with it going with the color. Makes no sense. The shade Hex is orange. It's like a nudie orange. Hex.
I
If
think
you
Twilight
think
could
of
have been a
Hex,
purple. Twilight could have been like a deep, like plummy purple.
well, think about it. The shade Hex would have a great gray or something along those lines. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone names it something, like if someone said, "Hey, I'm going to use Hex on your eyes," what color would you think of automatically? I would think of it like a moody gray or something along like something grungy, not nudie orange.
I
think
can't
green
think of a
because
color.
I think of like I think Hex, and I think of like watching like a movie or an anime, and someone's like doing a magic spell, and there's like
And
these
it's that green
tendrils
glowy
coming off of
stuff.
them.
I could see
Smoky
that.
vibes, kind of see what I'm saying? Not
I like
orange.
this palette though. I do like this color story. I think it's really great. I think it's like not cotton candy. It's candy corn. It's really pretty. I just don't think that it. You're right. The names don't match very well, and I think I don't know. I think we see this a lot with indie makeup. Like, and this is not like Betsy, like you're saying, like not trying to be mean. I don't want to be mean. It just a lot of indie makeup when it's like these like very small brands where it's like one person or two people who's making these and making these choices. I think Stella even said it in one of her comments where you're like, it's hard to be objective when you are the one doing all of the work. I get that, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I do design work at my job and I'm like, you know, hours into this work, and then my coworker comes up or my boss comes up. It's like, oh, you've like designed yourself into a corner here and you need to get out of this. And like, they help me out. And I think sometimes these indie brands, they just don't go far enough. It's just like, it's very focused on like this one idea they had, this one thought, and like, they need to like do better work or whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Well, I feel like you can easily like have that one thought. Like, so say that picture inspired this palette. Okay. Say they bought stock artwork and they were like, this is what I want to use as my inspiration.
Then this
or
is
saw
not
something,
the color story.
But then it doesn't translate to it.
Yeah.
The names don't translate to it. It's like the thought process starts here, but it doesn't finish. Does that like, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like they don't go far enough.
Do you want to know
Like
what
they
this-
could have easily. Okay, sorry. This is like as a graphic designer, because I understand everyone is trying because Halloween is coming up. They're like, oh, we need to do creepy, scary, you know, things that are going to interest people. And I've noticed a trend. People are wanting to do the horror makeup.
Oh, it's such
Pretty
a
trend.
big thing. Spooky
And
season is becoming such a trend.
if you're not going to do it right, don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what would have been really more impactful on this packaging? Instead of mirroring the image with like the wispy smoke coming through, they could have done one big full-on face of that, like
head on,
like a Huda palette or something like that. I found that like when I do some kind of design work as well, like I'm too afraid to go too big, but then sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes you need the work you're doing to like overwhelm the edges and just be like this big
it's like,
in your face thing.
Like even the Norns palette has like the eyes, like yeah, so pretty. I don't know.
I never get mad if people go big.
Isn't that not normal palette mirrored like this too?
Yes, but that's kind of, they're supposed to invoke, at least to me, it invokes that Siamese twin kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the image that I get from it.
Right, because it's actually joined.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're stitched together. It's supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
This isn't. Like, I think it would have been cool if it were like as you said, full on face, but like it faded out into like the smoky tendrils of the, you know, give me creep. If you want to be creepy, give me full on creepy.
Yeah.
I want to see indie brands like take it a little step further and really, I guess what we see here is, if we're being very like compassionate towards these people, you have somebody who is trying to create a brand because it's something they love. They're passionate about makeup and they want to do this, but they've never taken like classes on color theory. They don't know which colors are going to work well together. They maybe don't have a good grasp of like graphic design. And like there's so many different aspects of skill sets that need to go into like a brand. Like this right here, like this is just weird. This feels very like high
The
school
Daisy
project.
palette.
It
What?
it's
But
bad.
you know what? Like
I'm
And
sorry.
this is a collab. This is a collab. Wow.
This is bad. I'm sorry. This is terrible.
Eek.
it feels very high school to me. You know, when I see this, I'm just like, okay, they need to just to pause the business, take a few classes, learn a little bit about color theory and about packaging design, and then come back. This
Even
is
if
a
you
draft
don't
one.
have to go to college for it, you can easily like buy a design book or
Monica, I
go
agree.
buy a color wheel. Go buy yourself a color wheel.
Google
Monica said it
one.
great. Why would you start a business, a makeup brand, and you haven't studied color theory or design? Like,
Yeah,
what kind
because
of arrogance
those
would
are-
you have to be able to like? How arrogant are you to
Because-
start something like that?
Because buying makeup powder and starting your own makeup brand is not very hard to do these days.
No.
And it's a
Well-
very, very easy way to make money.
Well, I feel like if I were going to start a makeup brand, even though I am not a singles person, I would probably start off making singles. I feel like that would be much easier to start with because you
I
can
think-
name them and use the little, you can have your brand identity be simple. It's when you start getting into palettes, it's like, how do you keep your brand cohesive?
Yeah. So I think the thing is also a lot of these brands buy these private labeled, right? So they buy the singles already in the pans off the shelves
They just changed
And
the
pop-
name and the packaging.
and they pop them into palettes. But yeah.
But I think if you're doing that, there's a way to say
Like,
like,
look
okay,
at this. This
This-
is
Yes.
cute.
This is Rebel Rouge Labs. I own this palette. It was
I
Halloween
like-
palette like last year. This is an amazing, amazing palette. This is
Oh, they're
coming
bringing that
back
back.
out.
Oh my gosh.
That's so, and I do recommend
Zoinks.
this.
So
This-
I
love that name.
But-
Zoinks.
yeah,
Look at this is what I mean. Okay, look at the packaging on the outside.
I know.
Look at the
It's-
packaging on the inside.
The
Look at the
outside
name.
looks like something from oh gosh, what's that movie? A Mel Brooks movie.
Bride or what was when they did I know
Young
it's from.
Frankenstein. It looks like a scene from Young Frankenstein
Yes.
from the Mel Brooks movie.
So, but
So cool.
you see what I'm saying? Like, and look at the color names. Look at like everything about it makes sense.
Yeah. I have the Losing My Religion palette and I love it. Their formula is really good.
There
Really
and
easy to work
Kara,
with.
they have their glitter formula is good. I have a review on this palette. I use that glitter. That glitter is super unique too because it is like multiple colors in it, but they're Halloween colors. This is a beautiful
Ooh.
palette. Like
Oh my gosh.
as I said,
Shriek. I feel like I need that in my life. The
but you
Shriek
see what I'm
Shriek.
saying? Like,
Try
don't-
to dupe it. Try to dupe it.
I know.
and I can show you up close and personal with the palette if you want. But you see what I'm saying? Like everything about it makes sense. Electrode, it has. You see what I'm saying? Like all of it.
But this is definitely like if we're going to be very clear, this is several steps beyond private label.
They hand
Yeah.
make this, and
Yes.
she like Rebel Rouge Labs. They do some amazing, amazing products. So I would definitely recommend, and they're not expensive.
No.
They're not expensive.
So,
So this is $35 for their palette.
I do need to get going though, guys.
Yes.
Just to let you know, if you want to keep going, that's
Oh
fine.
no, we're good. I think we've kind of gone through
Yeah.
like as much as we're going to get through. Because this indie makeup spotlight or hotspot, this one's hotspot. They put out everything and it's too much to go through.
Yeah.
I think next
Can you
time,
pull that one up though? In the
Which
left,
one?
bottom left.
the very left palette, the all matte with the reds and blues.
The Grimoire
Yeah.
by V Cosmetics.
Oh, that looks
It's
so
really pretty.
It is really pretty.
Their first volume was really cute too, right?
This
From
looks
I've
so
heard-
good.
Good things about this brand. I've heard that they make really good shadows.
I
Yeah.
saw this and immediately was like, you know who else could do this palette? Nomad. This looks like a Nomad palette.
Yeah,
And I
the
love it.
embossing really makes me, and just the layout of the palette and everything does really look nomad.
But yeah, I do gotta go because I think I applied my eyeshadow in a really stupid way, and I think I got some in my eye.
Oh no.
And you know that I already have a sensitivity with like reds and pinks, so I think my
Yes.
eye is starting to get a little like swollen right now. So,
Oh no.
but that fits into the hangover look, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
He's gonna start twitching.
I look super tired and hungover, and maybe beaten up a little bit.
But yeah, I think that's it for today's episode of Makeup Magpies. Thank you for joining us for Hangover Edition and hearing me get actually angry at brands. See, I don't buy, I guess I'm wrong. I don't buy everything.
No.
It has to be thought through. But
Yeah.
I guess that's it for me. So
Now, do you have any special message you wanted to say to everybody?
Stay hydrated. Take a nap after this. I don't know. Live long and prosper.
Did you guys buy any Pedialyte for her? Because that is like the perfect hangover drink.
no, but I can go get some I mean, I think she just wants to nap at this point. When she got up, I was
Pedialyte
like,
and Gatorade.
water, drink lots and lots of water. I could give her some pickle juice. Pickle juice is great for rebuilding your electrolytes.
Yeah.
You say that.
In a martini.
No, pickle juice for electrolytes. I have a friend of mine. They have a nonprofit. They do marathons and stuff like that. And pickle juice is one of the best ways whenever you're doing lots and lots of extreme exercise to rebuild your electrolytes.
Also coconut water.
Mm-hmm. It sounds weird, but it's true.
I think I just want some Hot Pocket right now.
Oh,
I think that's something.
Ooh, that'd be good.
So we're going to do that. But we love you guys, and we will see y'all in 2 weeks, which will be on what day?
And it's on Rupees, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess it'll be on my channel.
The 29th.
The 29th, yes.
We'll be on
29th's my number. I love that.
29th, Ryan will probably be out of town that weekend, which will be fine. So I will have the place to myself. So not that
Yay.
that matters because he's never like hanging out.
Party at Ryan's.
Party like a rock star.
Don't tell him I said that.
Anyways, so we love you guys. We'll see y'all on the 29th at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is noon Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, see y'all
Bye,
then.
everyone.
Bye.